This is the Franchise Basketball Insider, presented by Massengale Eye Care, Oklahoma City's leading eye care provider since 1989. Call 631-2020.
Greetings, Thunder fans. We're just a few hours away from Game 6, another closeout game for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and both teams went through shoot-around practice today. Inside Chesapeake Energy Arena, the Golden State Warriors worked out. Oklahoma City worked out at their Integris Development Center on the north side of town. Let's check in with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Coach Steve Kerr.
I think guys just going out there and playing extremely hard. I think that's one thing that we pride ourselves on, and no matter what the score is or no matter how the game's going, we try to play as hard as we can every minute.
How important is it to get out and, as you did in games 3 and 4, initiate the contact and play hit-first physical basketball?
That's just the playoffs. That's what every team wants to do. You want to start off the game with the first punch. You want to come out there and play physical basketball, and I think that's one thing we've been doing throughout the whole playoffs, is trying to be physical as we can. We got a bunch of guys that play that way, so we got to, if we want to have a chance to beat this team tonight, we got to come out and do that from the beginning.
Warriors were a different dynamic with Bogut playing better defensively. How did you guys see that when he obviously played like 13 minutes when they were here last time and 30 when they were back home?
Yeah, he played better. Usually when one of your main guys plays better, you give yourself a good chance. So, that's just the name of the game. That's the name of the playoffs. One game might not be yours, the next game might be. So, we got to do a better job of, making sure that we, continue to be physical and, be aggressive on both ends.
Bogut playing with the rest of that small lineup that seemed to be pretty effective.
It helps to have, Bogues do what he did last game and be aggressive, and everybody that steps foot on the floor has to have that same mindset. I'm expecting coach to have a bunch of different lineups out there because we are so versatile of a team and deep that everybody's going to have an impact. But when you step on the floor, every minute that you play has to be, 110% of what you got. So. Bogues did that last game, LB did it last game, Mo, Sean. Got to have that again tonight.
What are the adjustments you're personally making to dealing with their length?
Just being sure about your passes and not getting into tough spots on the floor where you don't have options, and then. Try to have counters. That's basically it. If you fake a pass or make a pass, or getting in the lane, looking to drive and kick, finding the right angles to make those passes. That's the best way to do it. Their length is something that they feed off of to create turnovers, especially in this building. And for about 36 minutes or so, we've been able to control it. And those other 12, there's been a difference in the game. So we got to understand that.
Do you have a sense before a game of how your team is feeling, or how you think they may play that night?
I do, but I was fooled before games 3 and 4. I thought we were ready and we weren't. I do feel we're more prepared for game 5 or game 6, based on game 5, based on the way we played. It felt like we got our traction, and I think we'll be good tonight.
Steph has had some good moments in the series, but you'd say he probably hasn't had one of those typical Steph games yet. Does that give you some confidence coming into here?
Well, the guy is the MVP for a reason. He's a phenomenal player, and you look at the history of this game, whether it's Michael or Kobe or Magic or Bird or whoever. Nobody has a phenomenal game every time out. Steph's had a couple really good games in this series. Maybe he hasn't had that signature game, although game 2 was pretty good. But he's a star. He's a great player. He's got the most confidence in himself. So I expect him to come out and play a great game. I'd be shocked if he didn't.
If you look at games 3 and 4, it was the second quarter in almost in the same spot. 40-40, 40-40.
Yeah.
Was there a commonality in lineups or in anything that happened that you could spot generally in those two moments?
They were very different. In Game 3, we had about 5 straight possessions mid-second quarter where we got really good shots and we just missed them, and then they went down in transition. Game 4 was different. Game 4 was turnover-filled, mistake-prone. We didn't play well in either game, but Game 4 was really a mess. I suppose if you want to look at a common theme, we fouled way too much in both games, and they were shooting free throws constantly. We can't afford that. We've got to play without fouling, make them earn their baskets, and not give them the easy points.
All right, that'll do it for this game day edition of the Basketball Insider. We're just a few hours away from tip-off at 8 o'clock tonight on TNT. We get our radio version of our pregame started at 7 o'clock at Flint Restaurant inside the Colcourt Hotel. We hope you'll join Desmond Mason, John Rohde, and yours truly for our coverage tonight. Thanks for watching the Franchise Basketball Insider. I'm David Garrett for Oklahoma's new sound for sports, 107.7 The Franchise in Oklahoma City and 107.9 The Franchise in Tulsa.